Dad!
Hello, Ton.
Hello, son. So yeah, we're on holiday.
That's my boy.
That's my boy, aye. We're up in the Mendocino coast on holiday.
No, that's not the Mendocino coast.
It's Sea Ranch.
It's a sea ranch.
So I get confused. Is that what's that, Sonoma then?
Sonoma.
I live here. I should know this. I don't
Well,
live
you
here.
should
I
know
live a wee bit south, but
Mendocino is about line starts. County line starts about.
is that near Gualala? I thought
No,
because we
that's further
crossed
up.
it.
That's
We
further up.
crossed
That's
it.
Point something.
Point
something.
Reese.
I'm pretty sure that's my mum in the background, by the way. No, she's okay. She's all embarrassed about being on film. I think
Yeah,
my dad
I've
might.
just come out the hot tub and
Oh, all right. Yeah, we got a hot tub here, and it's really hot.
It's wonderful.
A wonderful clear sky.
and the kids were splashing me with water.
Aye, the kids were making a big splashy mess. I think we're in Mendocino, but I'm gonna have a million people in the comments thread probably
I
saying
know,
otherwise.
well,
But I understand that.
I'm not going to disagree with you, but you're wrong.
You're well, it's important to be able to disagree and be wrong at the same time.
That's correct.
Yeah, so I hear that up here the main, or one of the main threads to the economy is not just wine, but other sorts of illicit
Are
horticulture.
you talking about marijuana? The
wacky
cultivation of illegal substances.
they're not illegal in and of themselves. Only the consumption by a
Non-specific.
prescription. Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I've
a
heard that.
complicated thing. But,
Do you know what? We even have that back in Dartford. We had one of the local eating house or the Chinese cooking establishment.
takeaway,
Take
right?
away.
Yes, a Chinese takeaway, and it actually closed down. However, they wondered after several months why it was still drawing many kilowatt hours of electricity day and night. So they investigated it, and they found upstairs 2 Chinese ladies cultivating marijuana plants, enough to possibly, to the value of something like in UK pounds, £400,000 worth. How you can do that in such a small space, I have no idea.
It's about density, economic density. I understand there's quite a few people do that in San Francisco and whatever.
Needless to say,
And-
that our local
Constabulary.
constabulary took all the plants away, and I'm sure they burned them.
Are you
and I'm
sure?
they were all standing outside inhaling the smoke.
Doesn't Craig
as they burned.
Doesn't Craig work for the police? Did he
Yes, he
have
does.
anything to do with that?
He wouldn't tell you anything like that.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't
No,
tell
no,
even
no.
you.
No.
The family privileges only go so far, right? You have this sticker on your car though, and all that.
It's like
The get out of jail free
What are
ticket.
we doing? No, we're not.
But yeah, no. So the other thing we have is this is the Eye of Hawk Ale, Mendocino.
very nice.
You like it?
Oh yes.
8% alcohol, Mendocino
Well,
Brewing.
that's a bit. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you can only have a couple of these and then start to tell things you
I
don't want
think we might
anybody
be
to know
going to-
about. You know. Sorry.
I think we might be going to the winery later, actually.
Well, we might even buy a bottle of wine today. A case of wine. What about a case of wine?
Oh my god! You can't take that back on the plane
No,
though.
we can drink it before we go.
Oof, that'll be hard work. Yeah. So
Might be for some.
so wait, the last time you were here at Sea Ranch was for our wedding.
It was
That would be
indeed.
9 years ago.
9 years it was.
And you guys just had your anniversary, 42 years.
42 years. 42 wonderful
And that's
40
it.
years. And I mean, and I have to say, four, we used to have some, what we call, we had 4 of a family, 4 lovely wee boys, and now they're 4 big, rough men.
Oh, I'm no so rough.
Well, you might be one of those.
I'm rough around the edges and social. I perhaps I lack some of the social niceties that my brothers have.
You're a wonderful son.
And you know, I lack the hair that the others have, and
No,
I
you
got
got
it
it on
all
your
down.
chest.
I got
You
it on my chest.
transferred to your chest.
yeah, which really hurts me in this weather. I tell you, I am not one for the hot California weather. I'm so
know it?
glad that I moved to San Francisco.
Well, do you know what I like California weather? Hot. I like the hot stuff. I mean, and it's in a marked contrast to where I live. It's basically we get this year. It's been 90% grey skies.
So you know, really, I think Scotland is like the San Francisco of Europe, right? It has the kind of the coldest weather and the dullest and the most terrible weather.
It has.
But it has great architecture and great people, and actually has some really good tech people. You know, the Grand Theft Auto games, they're Scottish.
Are they?
Aye, they're a Scottish company. They make more money than the film industry, I think. You know Aunt Julie, right?
Yeah.
So I remember we were in New York. I don't know. We were in New York like a couple of months ago, and we were down her street, and she pointed at the houses at the bottom of the street and said, "Oh yeah, you might know the person who owns these. He's the guy. He made a game, a very famous game," and she proceeded to describe it as Crash Bang Manhattan Auto Theft. And I was like, "Do you mean Grand Theft Auto?" And she said, I think that's right. Oh, Aunt Julie, I think you're wonderful. I really do like Aunt Julie. and Uncle Larry is great as well. He's the eye doctor dude. Do you remember him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember Larry?
Yeah, we were having this discussion about camera optics the other time, which was, they were talking about ways to take photos in the back of the eye, but, I had some ideas there. Not that... I think there are professionals that have better ideas than me.
Well,
But, yeah.
yes, here we are.
So
Well, I
anyway,
must
the
admit,
winery
no.
we're going... Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
You were going
I was
to
going to
say?
say when it comes to gaming games, and there's only one game I ever play, and that's Gran Turismo.
Have you got your PlayStation working again?
No, I'm going to have to buy a new one. It's
The last time I was in Scotland, right?
bad workmanship. Bad workmanship.
Dear. It's a PlayStation 3 in the steering wheel, and the last time I was in Scotland, I remember it was out of commission, and then you opened it up, like sprayed your heat gun over the contacts,
worked.
and it was working again. And then you proceeded to beat my times on Gran Turismo on every track and vehicle I tried. Like, he completely beat me. So he's a cool gamer dad in some ways.
I practiced a lot.
Even if he can't design spacecraft yet.
Oh, no. I practiced a lot, didn't I, Muriel?
You did.
I waited till everyone went to bed, and then I spent half the night driving my favourite car.
What was it? What one?
Was the Zonda. The Zonda. It was the most stable one to drive. And actual fact, and the one which I thought I'd make the most program was a Mustang, and it turned out to be a terrible drive.
Yes,
And
I
even
know.
worse,
I know. I drive a Mustang.
Even worse was the Shelly Cobra. It was almost unhandleable. I mean, that requires something of an expert to drive it.
Oh.
Too much power to the back wheel, not enough weight, no downforce when you get up to speed.
Yeah, but they look great.
Great
The
brakes.
Shelby's always looked awesome.
Yes, great. A nice sweet car. Really good.
Yeah, I have the old 1999 Mustang, and in fact, it's a convertible, and right now it's in the shop. It's been in the shop for the last
No,
10
much
days.
to my disappointment.
I want it to come back so you guys can have a drive in it and take it off and do donuts in it or whatever you guys do.
We play the Beach Boys and we go down the coast and we sing loud.
I wish they all could be California.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's our area.
Much to my disappointment, that car was not going to be available this time. So.
What else? So what have you been doing else while you've been in the West Coast, let's say?
The West Coast. Well, I stay in the West Coast as well.
Oh, I know, you're saying the West. Well, you're not really, because how far inland are you? I mean, Scotland where you are
20
is like
miles.
80 miles wide.
Yeah.
No,
So,
Scott.
so that's
No.
1/4 of the way
It is,
between the coasts.
Yeah, we're about 20 miles from
That's like saying, oh, I live on the coast, I live in Nevada.
I can see the coast from my. I can see the coast from my garden.
You can if you
Yes,
if
can.
you walk up the
I
hill.
can see the sea. And I can see Ailsa Craig, which is a long, long.
The
way.
Ailsa Craig. Now that's a famous volcanic structure. It's a volcanic plug, and the granite isn't the granite
That's
for the
granite.
curling
They make all the
stones.
curling stones.
Yeah, they traditionally come from the Ailsa
Well, they
Craig.
used to make them. They probably don't still do it.
Well, I mean, if they all got them, wouldn't they all be covered with bird poo? If they were all from
But I don't
Ailsa Craig?
suppose you would use curling with bird poo in it, Scott.
I think they would
I
clean
think
them
they
off
would- I think they
first.
clean it off before they start to cut it.
Maybe adjusts the makeup of the rock. The acids.
I doubt if you can get any bird poo because the wind always blows so hard. I'm sure it all goes horizontal.
It goes.
It doesn't land anywhere. It just dissipates into the atmosphere.
I mean, that's the weather in Scotland, right? It's always windy. I mean, we get the wind farm near the house, near the house, right?
Yes.
And every time I go there, they're shut down for
Well, no, it's
expansion.
been they had to upgrade the connection to it because it's so successful.
They have so much power
And
coming
they had
out.
so much power. Then they had originally 236 gigantic turbines, and now they're upgrading that to 570.
Wow. And nobody lived out in that land anyway. It wasn't even good farmland. I would occasionally see sheep
No,
on
the sheep used it.
The sheep would use it, aye?
The sheep use it. Yeah, there are people out there who say it's an eyesore, but
Oh, I think they're
for where
beautiful.
they're standing, you need an astronomical telescope to actually spot them.
They've had to, the road, the main road that goes through the town,
Right.
the bottom of Burn Road.
The A71.
Yeah, but the actual bit right at the bottom of our road, they've had to strengthen it, and it'll be like that. You're not allowed to go down that last bit because of all the lorries that are going through taking, I don't know whether it's taking the wood away or taking the wood. Or,
No, they're actually,
taking
what they're
the-
using that for is for transporting
with the-
gigantic turbine pieces, you know.
I've seen these, and I remember driving to Edinburgh once and getting stuck behind one of these trains, and they had, like 3 trucks with turbine blades on them, and there was basically no way you could pass this thing, and they were driving at 10 miles an hour the whole way. And they were just like, well, we can't actually pull over anywhere because there's nowhere where we have half a mile of pullouts. These turbine blades are huge, though.
Yeah.
That actually do generate a huge amount of power.
I know, under
you-
the right conditions, aye.
Did you go up to them the last time that you were?
We did, but they were upgrading the
Oh,
power.
so you didn't hear because the noise they make when you're up, it's like a deep drone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
I think they're cool,
Oh,
And actually,
they
I'm
sound
going
lovely.
I found a spot up in Hull on one of my walks where the sun just catches at the right angle, so and you can see a lot of it. So I was going to plant my camera up there, and just I think it's quite hypnotic just watching them turn around about.
Aye.
Really quite nice. And the sheep baying in the background.
I know. Well, Scotland's got a lot of renewable energy stuff going on. They have
Very
the
much.
tidal systems and they
Tidal
hydro.
systems are really big.
I mean,
now.
you're not great for solar. Like, just
Well,
about the
I-
worst.
You might be
Neighbours
surprised.
with
You might be
solar-
surprised that
solar panels up.
Do they have?
Yes, lots of
are they
people.
photovoltaics or are they thermals?
all they're photovoltaics.
Oh wow.
The government is now giving
got big
you
subsidies for
grants
this.
towards putting up on your roof. Although
Aye.
we do have solar lights out in the garden, and they do shine. So
All night.
Yeah,
All
at
night, 24 hours,
so
all night,
we
one
must
night.
get some sort of
Oh,
sun,
you
but-
do. It's. I'm joking, of course. You do get a pretty good stuff. Here, it's great. And,
No, we're growing web feet out in Scotland just now.
nice weather for ducks.
Nice weather for ducks. I mean, it's just been unbelievable the amount of rain. And when the Olympics were on, the weather forecast guy would stand up and he would say, "Oh, down in like where the Olympics are, it's up in the 30s." And in Scotland, it was like 10 or something. I mean, it was just terrible.
Well, but I honestly think that the mediocre weather actually contributed to helping the British athletes do particularly well.
And the
So
two-
let's
and the
not
Super Gale.
curse it too much.